So, this is my presentation on Gotham City royalty. You know, The Dark Knight versus the Clown Prince of Gotham. The two most cool freaking heroes and villains in all of history. Sorry about that. Batman versus the Joker. These two have stayed relevant for nearly 80 years, and yet they've still managed to stay relevant. I mean, this is due to multiple writers or, universe resets, multiple movies, different styles, multiple wars have happened. Millions of people have died. I mean, there have been different kings and queens and presidents and prime ministers, and bands have come and gone. The Beatles have come and gone. You know, music genres have risen and fallen, but these two, they have changed a little bit, but they're still relevant. I mean, we still love these two characters. My research topics. These aren't all my research topics, but these are the ones that I like the most. I mean, my essay's pretty long. I went over by the minimum by, a couple pages, like 5 or 6 pages. But I mean, I really like the topic, and you know, I'm gonna read you off what these ones that I put on are. These, like I said, these aren't all of them, and I'll go into a little bit further depth into some of these, but not all of them because I don't want it to be a book. I mean, my main research topic and what this whole thing is based off of. Why have these two stayed relevant for all this time? I covered this, in my essay, and I will cover this in this presentation. Why does Batman have Robin? Why does he need Robin? What circumstances have driven this hero villain to their actions? Why did Batman become Batman? Why did he become a bat? Why do they do the things they do? Why does Joker do the things he does? Why do they represent these things? What is our fascination with these particular hero or villain construct? Simple. Why does Batman have Robin? He wasn't well known in, late 30s, early 40s. Not like he is now. I mean, kids love him. I love him. I loved him. I still do. You probably love him. Everybody loves him. He's cool. He's a cool character. But you need a Robin, to pull in younger audiences. I mean, why? What circumstances have driven this hero or villain? It, you know, why are they doing what they're doing? Simple. That Bruce Wayne's parents, Martha and Thomas Wayne, kind of like, Superman's Martha, you know, they were killed by Joe Chill down Crime Alley. And, Batman wanted to prevent this. He's not perfect. He tries to help. I mean, depending on the, movie or TV show, he's more helpful sometimes than others. Joker is a little bit more complicated and why he does what he does. I'll cover that, in a little bit. Why Bat? Why does Batman become Batman? Like I said, he wants to help. He wants to help, his crime-ridden beloved city that his parents were trying to help make better. Why Bat? I mean, depending on the origin story, I mean, he might have fallen down a hole and got scared by bats, or Bat might have flown down through his window or out his window and he got startled, so he wanted to scare bad guys like he got scared. I mean, bats are kind of scary. They have rabies. I mean, they fly in your hair. I mean, might turn into a vampire. I mean, if you're in a vampire movie, people are just superstitious of bats. What's scarier than a little bat? A crazy dude running around as a bat, freaking throwing ninja stars at your face and driving on a hot rod. I'd be freaking terrified. What is our fascination with these heroes or villains? Simple. Good versus evil. I mean, North versus South, Nazis versus America. You know, bad versus evil, God versus Satan. Why does anybody do anything? These are just two simple story that's very interesting. My thesis. Regardless of what happens in these comics between these two, they have and will unite many generations through their constant fighting, and they will stay relevant for many years to come. I mean, this is held true. I'm sure another 40 years, 80, 50, God knows how many years, 100 years when we're all dead and gone, these two characters will still be around, or at least their names will still be around. It might not be Bruce Wayne as Batman, but the hero name will still be around after we're long gone, just like the writers. Now for Batman's origin, and then later on Joker's origin a little bit. Batman made his first appearance in Detective Comics issue number 27 in 1939 as a direct competitor to Superman, who debuted the previous year in Action Comics number 1. This is, Superman man was like an all-powerful dude. He's an alien. What's better than an alien? A guy who dressed around as a freaking bat and he's dark and mysterious. He's not a Boy Scout. I mean, he'll throw you off a ledge. Dude's freaking scary now. Depiction wasn't so, his original depiction not so much, but I mean, they've had to amp it up over the years. He's also a basic representation of good. This is dependent on who is playing Batman. I mean, is it Thomas Wayne? Is it Bruce Wayne? Is it Terry McGinnis? Is it, um, Dick Grayson, who was Nightwing, who was the first Robin? It just depends on the depiction, who's playing him, but generally, Batman represents good. Well, at least lawful good. Joker's origins. Joker is also known as the Clown Prince of Gotham. He has been Batman's #1 nemesis for like since 1940. That's like 78 years. That's almost 80 years. I mean, he has other villains that have come and gone. I mean, you got Bane and Scarecrow. Those are, great. You got Ra's al Ghul. I mean, those are all in the Nolan trilogy. I mean, you got other freaking heroes from different universes for crossovers like Mortal Kombat. He fights Shao Kahn and Scorpion and God knows what. He's fought in everybody. But the Joker is the #1. He's the one we always come back to. I mean, the Joker was created as an inspiration from The Man Who Laughs, from a Ghost Rider. White Clown? I mean, it's the 1940s. He did away with a lot of things in the 1940s. I mean, he's the clown who steals money. I mean, it's a little bit better than a mobster who steals money. I mean, you got to think this is like right after the Great Depression during World War II. Nobody had money. I mean, this character would be lame nowadays, but he gets a pass because he's so cool, and he's so cool back then, and he's just been altered. I mean, it's depending on the depiction of the Joker, he could represent, lawful evil to chaotic evil. It just depends on his origin story. Depends what we're working with. Depends, who's the writer, what movie, who's the director, whatever. He just he's a bad dude. 99% of the time. I mean, there is a universe where the Red Hood, the Joker's original persona, is a hero, but that's not the main universe. And sorry about that. Metaphorical implications is simple. I mean, you don't really need to look into that much for Batman. Batman generally represents true lawful. Different depictions could represent him differently. However, he also represents fear. That's the reason for the bat suit. I mean, dude in a bat suit. I mean, you can't tell me if you're walking down a dark alley, you're mugging an old lady. I mean, you got a gun, but you see a guy in a bat suit throwing a freaking, bat nunchuck at you. You're not gonna be afraid of this crazy maniac who's gonna beat the crap out of you. I'd be scared and drop the gun and run away from the old lady. I mean, I think that's how he gets 90% of the things done. Is it's called it's 99% fair intimidation because you got this big old muscular, serrated out billionaire beating you up. You know, versus like 1% justice that's actually being carried out. I mean, he's a hero, but he's a terrifying hero. He could be scarier because there are other implications where he actually is a vampire sometimes, or sometimes he is the Joker, just depending on what you're reading. But Batman, you don't need to look in too much. He's just good. He's a good guy. The Joker is a little bit more complicated than the Batman, though. I mean, originally, he's an evil clown who steals things. But it was further fleshed out that he was originally the Red Hood, a small time, you know, thief who got a little bit, got a little bit better, depending on the depiction, he might just be talked into it because he needed money, or like you said, could be a hero. Some universes just depends on the Red Hood, or he has been kind of depicted in the Gotham, whereas the Red Hood, but that's not really the Joker. That's not exactly the most popular one. Probably the more popular, well, as of recently, the more popular one is 1989, was he was a mobster named Jack. Just straight up mobster dressed as a clown. Kind of a more classic representation, but not the first origin of the Joker. But the most recent one Well, the most recent popular one, I'll get to the most recent one, is The Dark Knight. He was a beaten child. You know, the that just bills and be chaotic evil. You know, in the most recent origin, as I didn't put, he actually fell into the same chemical that the Lazarus Pit is made out of that keeps Ra's al Ghul young, and it makes him immortal, so he could be older than Gotham. I mean, the official reason for these implications is because he's multiple people. I'll expand on that later. Or he could just be multiple mental illnesses that he forgets about. I mean, that might be the metaphorical implication is for some sort of mental illnesses that maybe they're trying to raise awareness for. Maybe. But I mean, he just represents evil. I mean, you can look into this all you want. You can do all the research you want. It'll drive you crazy. But what you really need to know is he's just an insane clown who's evil. I mean, he represents pure evil like Nazis or, stuff like that. Now, pop culture. Why have we been obsessed with these two for many years? It's because we can see it in movies and TV shows. Everything between, I mean, think in our lifetime alone. I mean, I'm 24. There have been like what, like at least six Batman movies? I mean, you got the Nolan trilogy. You got Batman vs Superman, Justice League. You got he's in briefly Suicide Squad, and you got a couple movies in the '90s. You got a couple Tim Burton movies, '89. You got the original one with Adam West. You got tons of TV shows. Last 20 years alone. I'm sure I grew up watching. I'm sure many of you did too. But they're all great and they're all awesome. I mean, there have been plenty of toys. I mean, you look around. I mean, I can see a Joker toy, a Batman toy in my room alone. I just think it's cool. I mean, look around any kid's room. I'm sure there is at least one. But one of the more cool examples that's outside of media is actually kind of local, Manteca. If you go to the Bass Pro Shopping Center, where they got Vans Outlet, Bass Pro, Banana Republic, and one of the I think it's just some guy's like collection. Last time I was there wasn't a sign, but it's towards the road on the very outside of the thing, opposite of where the Circuit City used to be. I think it was a Circuit City. It was a store. You cup your hands, you go right, walk up right up to the building. You can see like every Batmobile from like the last 30 years. I think some guys just store in there, but it's freaking cool. They're all, they're probably all worth like $100,000 at least, because those things aren't cheap to build. I mean, people are so obsessed with these things. They will spend millions of dollars on just replicas that might not even freaking work, that aren't road legal at all, and they'll just spend tons of money. We are obsessed with these guys. I mean, these guys are in pop culture everywhere. There's video games, there's Lego figures, there's freaking Lego Batman. Not the best representation of Batman for me, but it's good for kids. But I mean, we're obsessed with them. We're obsessed with these characters in pop cultures. I mean, we might always be. I mean, it has been that way my entire life. I mean, some of you might be older, might be different, but at least in the last 24 years has been we've been crazy about these guys. At least I have been. My conclusion: the reason why these two have stayed in the spotlight is because they can change and adapt to what they need to without completely changing, their morals. At least for the most part, in this universe. I mean, once you get the Flashpoint universe, you get Thomas Wayne who's using guns and killing people. I mean, that's not the main Batman, but I mean that's only a temporary universe. I mean, you got different people who could be Bruce Wayne. Like I just said, Thomas Wayne could be Batman when Bruce is killed and Martha's now the Joker. You got 50 years from now, Terry McGinnis is Batman and Bruce Wayne's old, or you got Dick Grayson being Batman. I'm pretty sure there's a couple other guys as Batman I forgot to mention. I know I forgot to mention. And the Joker has multiple origin stories, for different reasons. I mean, it's called like one series are. He might just be the same guy with multiple different mental illnesses, and he forgets, and Batman forgets too for some reason. I don't know, laughing gas or some reason comics or comic reboot. But the official reason why he has multiple origins, Batman has to become a god. He became the god of knowledge, and Shazam became the god of gods, and Superman became the god of strength, and Flash became the god of death once he merged with like Flash Death. You gotta look that up. It's pretty cool. But Batman went to go look up who's the Joker, and it says can't find that. I don't know that because he's multiple people, and it freaking blew his mind. I mean, it's in the Rebirth DC Comics. But these two can always change. They can always adapt. They can reset the universe. They can change who's Batman, who's Joker, different reasons. These two can stay relevant for a long time. I mean, who knows what's in store next? But this is my presentation. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry if I rambled a little bit too long. I like this topic. I mean, I wasn't too boring, but thank you. Have a good day. I look forward to watching your topics, your videos.